Hello, and welcome to another session of Who Was to Blame. In this session, our objective will be to answer the question, what parts of the story Who Was to Blame suggests that Chekhov is not only interested in sharing with us the portrait of a tomcat as a young learner, but in relating to us his feelings about the role of punishment in education. Explain. Understand the essence of the tale, Who Was to Blame. Let us now break down the story. In the story, the narrator compares his life with a little kitten. The writer of the story portrays his uncle, Pyotr Demanich, and the little kitten as the main characters, and Raskovia, the maid, as a female character. The story begins with Pyotr Demanich trying to train the kitten to kill rats who had caused havoc in the house by nibbling the top of his uncle's hat and sometimes by nibbling the corner of his grammar book. In the course of training, the kitten fails to catch the mouse time and again. When the first mouse is caught in the mousetrap, his uncle places the kitten just opposite to the mousetrap. The door of the mousetrap opens, the mouse runs away under the sofa. Frightened, the kitten also runs under the table. Seeing how the kitten is scared of a mouse, the narrator's uncle is infuriated and pulls the kitten back, then shakes him in the air and hits on his ear. But the narrator's uncle doesn't give up. He is persistent in teaching the kitten to catch the mouse by any means. So the kitten is brought over every time his uncle catches a mouse. When the second mouse is caught, the kitten is brought over again. However, it gets frightened and runs away. At the sight of the third mouse, the kitten shivers and scratches the maid's hand who is holding it. This goes on, and after the failed fourth attempt of the kitten, the narrator's uncle is so furious that he kicks the kitten away. Years pass by. The thin, frail kitten is now a solid and sagacious tomcat. On the way to his house, one day the writer's uncle sees the same cat, which still shamefully runs away at the sight of a mouse. Witnessing this, the narrator's uncle realizes how much of his precious time he wasted spending on training it. At the end of the story, the narrator reveals a bitter truth by comparing his uncle teaching the cat to catch mice with his uncle teaching him Latin, which the narrator had no interest in learning. Just like how the cat turns pale and runs away at the sight of a mouse, the writer does the same at the sight of his uncle. The story isn't just trying to share the portrait of a tomcat as a young learner who isn't interested in learning what is being taught to him forcefully. However, it addresses a larger issue if we take a look at the bigger picture. Anton Chekhov expresses his feelings about the use of punishment in the education system with the help of metaphors from the part where the first mouse is caught till the fourth mouse where his uncle punishes the cat for letting the mice go. The story is trying to tell the readers that punishment is a rather ineffective way of teaching, be it animals or humans. One can learn many things in a more loving environment. Fear and force can make one turn away from learning, and this applies from a young age. Young ones have a fragile mind, and using physical force can turn into a traumatizing experience that may even last a lifetime. This can result in children running away from books and schools when they grow up. If the young learners are lagging behind in the learning process, then the mentor should apply ways of teaching which they understand. Since everybody has their own interests, way of understanding, and a way of learning that they find easy, they shouldn't be forced into it. So that's all for today's session. Let us quickly review what we have covered in this session. Anton Chekhov expresses his feelings about the use of punishment in the education system with the help of metaphors from the part where the first mouse is caught till the fourth mouse, where his uncle punishes the cat for letting the mice go. The story is trying to tell the readers that punishment is a rather ineffective way of teaching, be it to animals or humans. Fear and force can make one turn away from learning, and this applies from a very young age. Young ones have a fragile mind, and using physical force can turn into a traumatizing experience that may even last a lifetime. Since everybody has their own interests, way of understanding, and a way of learning that they find easy, they shouldn't be forced into it. With that, we've come to the end of this session. Hope this was helpful to you. Thank you, and see you in our next session.